Yeah, so let us do the hands-on and building an E2E, like end-to-end pipeline by streaming it. So let me create a new notebook for that. So I'll call it as end-to-end uh, streaming. Okay. So I am creating the folders inside our DBFS, but in actual, we are going to use Azure Data Lake Storage account for that. Okay, so this is our notebook. Now let me uh, access DBFS from here. Go into the DBFS. Let me choose the cluster. Let me confirm it. Go to file store, tables. Yeah, so I'll create a new folder here that will be called as a stream data, and I'll upload one or two files in that, and then I'll going to start streaming it. So for that, let me create a new folder by using a code here by dbutils. So dbutils.fs.mk directories. So this will take care of creating a new folder inside my dbfs. Now I am specifying the path, like I want inside my file store. In that I want in tables, and then I want stream data. Okay, let me execute this. Let me run. You should get a true here. Yeah, true. Let me go and check on the, sorry, dbfs. So in file store, in tables, I have something called stream data. Let me check. Yeah, I can see that stream data, but there's no file inside that. Actually, I want to create one more folder inside that, like an input. So let me run this and check. Yeah, so inside the stream data, I have an input file. So I'll be uploading one file in this. So let me show you which file I'm going to upload. Give me a second. Yeah, a simple file. You can see a simple CSV file, like a January file, which has two columns only. One is marketplace and one is sales. So we have a marketplace, a Flipkart, Amazon, Snapdeal, Meesho, and the sales according to that. So similarly, we have a February file. We have the sales are obviously different, and March file, and you have different. Let me add one more like marketplace, like Paytm. The seller is now selling in Paytm also. Paytm, and make it for 50. Okay, let me save this. So now we have three files. Let me upload file one by one. So let me upload January file. So let me go to my DBFS here. Now I want to upload a file inside a file store, inside a tables, inside a stream data. Let me just check. Inside a input container, I'll just click on OK. So now I'll drop a file here so that it will store inside this input container. So let me open this, pick a January file, and drop it into my DBFS. You can see it. So it has been dropped, and you got the link also. So that file is inside your stream data input, and the name of the file is january.csv. Now let me start reading that file in my notebook by creating a data frame. So let me create a data frame is equal to, if I would have been in the, if I would have been in, sorry, yeah. So if I would be in the batch one, so I would just write spark dot and specify the path. So my path, I have just now copied it. I'll just copy and paste it. So this is when I am in, let me just, yeah. So when I do that in a batch one, okay, batch. So now I want to do it in a streaming one or a real time streaming. Now I will use spark dot read dot. I'm not running this, guys. I just shown you the difference. Now I'll use read stream. S should be capital. It should be in a title case dot csv and specify the path. I'll just copy paste it. Now, if I start running this, let me see what I'll get. So you may encounter an error saying that a schema must be specified, creating a streaming source data frame. So whenever you are creating a data frame of streaming, you should specify the schema on that. So you should specify a users defined schema. So let me create a user defined schema somewhere here. MD, I am creating a user creating user defined schema. Let me run this. Now I'll give a name called users schema, and let me use a PySpark data types to define the schema. So for that, let me import all the types from pyspark.sql.types import all. Let me run this. Yeah, now I can use struct type and struct field. Your S should be capital. Struct type. Let me use control space to get IntelliSense. Struct type. Inside that, let me use struct field. Struct field. And we know the data, like first column is, or it was a marketplace, and it is obviously a string type. So let me write a string type, and it is a function. Let me put a comma here and take it in a new line and use a struct field specifying the second column, that is your sales amount, and it should be an integer type. So I'll take an integer type and complete this bracket. Let me run this. So I have defined a schema now. Let me pass this schema inside this read stream data frame. So I'll specify a schema here, schema, and the name of the schema is user schema. Let me copy this and paste it here. .csv. Now let me run this. So it has successfully executed, and you can see that it took 0.3 seconds. Now let me display that. Let me display this, or display the same line here, or the same command line, display df, and let me run now. So once I use display, you can see that the stream as initialized, and there is some error. You can see option base path must be directory. So your base path should not be the file, it should be your directory. It means your base path should be, when you're streaming, obviously it should have a directory, that is input directory. We don't want to stream this file because, like, after some time you may get new files arrived in this input. So we don't want a file name to be streamed, we want a directory to be streamed. So let me remove this dot January, and now let me run this. So it will start streaming. You can see start initializing. Maybe it will ask you for the headers also. Let me check. It has executed. Yeah, you can see that if you open this, it will show you a dashboard showing you like how much time it is taking for input versus your processing rate and your batch duration and your aggregation state also. Yeah, you can see this processing, and here it is showing you the headers like marketplace and sales, but actually the your headers are marketplace and the second one that was sales actually, but here we are not getting. So I want this first row to be headers. So let me take an option here, same like we do in a stream, sorry, batch. So let me take an option and put headers and make it to true. Let me put a dot. Let me run this. I'll stop that streaming and rerun that again. Yeah, so you can see that we got a data frame with two columns, marketplace and sales, and you can see there are four records inside that and sales. So this is how your data is streaming continuously. You can see unless until you click on this cancel, it keeps on streaming. You can see that last updated is was 10 seconds ago, 20 seconds ago, and so on. Now you can see that it has been processed. Now there is no data to process, so your graph is a straight line. No data to process. You can see that. So like we have loaded one file, that January file, and you can see the details here. And here it is still showing a simple line, a straight line, because there is no data to process. Now let me upload one more file in this directory, that is input directory. So upload. So I will upload in the same directory, stream data. Let me pick a stream data, stream data input folder. Okay, let me scroll down, save. I will drop one more folder or one more file here, that is your February file. I'll drag and drop it here. So once I drop it, I'll come to my Databricks and I will not do anything. So it will go and check whether you have that file inside that directory, like input directory. If you find that, now you may, yeah, you can see that in fraction of second it is done. There were only four records. Now we got eight records. You can see now we got eight records inside that. Like in that folders we got two files, so that's why we got a eight rows now. So if I drop one more file, you may get 12 or 13 records, whatever we have in that rows. So this is how your read stream works. Now you can see the graph also. So we got some data at this point of time and it has been processed also. Now let us go and start writing it, like let us write in the right stream. We can do some transformation on this. We can do renaming the column name. You can add a new column and you can do all the transformation. We will do that, but let us first write it like data frame dot we use write stream. So while writing a stream, there are a lot of options we need to specify. So let me show you the documentation regarding that. Write stream. So we specify basically a format, which format you want. So let me specify an option, and specify the format as Parquet file. I'll specify it as a Parquet file. Then I'll specify an option called output mode. You can do in this way or you can do in this way also, output mode, and you specify output mode as append, because now after some time I'm going to add a marge file also, and it should append, or that should be added in this file only or in this data frame only. So that's why I'm using an append. Then a trigger is an optional. You can choose trigger or you can leave it, but checkpoint is mandatory. We need to specify the checkpoint. You can give a checkpoint and specify the path. So I'll keep that path like the checkpoint file or the data in the file store tables. In the stream data, I'll create one more directory there and I'll say that this is related to checkpoint. Okay, checkpoint. Then I will use a different option, that is your path, because I have not specified path anywhere. So I'll specify the path. Inside that path, the location I'll give as file store tables stream data, and I'll give a new directory name, that is your output, because I'm having an input directory. I will store all this in a Parquet format in this output folder or output directory, and then I will use dot start at the end. I am not specifying the trigger. I can specify the trigger later on. So let me show you uh, the mandatory things. I have used format. I have taken an output mode. I have taken a checkpoint, and I have taken a location. So these are mandatory things. Now let me start the write stream. Oh, so checkpoint must be specified either through the checkpoint location. Okay, I missed something. So actually it should be the checkpoint location. I wrote only checkpoint. Now let me run this. I should write a checkpoint location. Now you can see that the stream as initialized, it has started. You can see your Spark jobs running. So it is continuously running. Now you can open this Spark job and you can see that your job is running now. So let me just go back. It is continuously running. This is also continuously running. This is also continuously running. Now let me go back to my dbfs, to my file store, to the tables, and go to the stream data. I can see now two directories. One is your checkpoint for your fault tolerant. You have all the metadata stored in this checkpoint, and you have an output folder. In this output folder, you have your Parquet files. Now, this first Parquet file is your January file. Second file is your February file. And all the delta logs are stored here. We have seen detail like what are these delta logs. So this is how your data has been continuously streaming. Now let me do one thing. I will add one more file in your input folder, one more file in input folder named as March, and let us see what happens. So let me go to upload. Let me select the directory. I will take a stream data input directory, and let me save this. I'm going to add one more file with the same schema, March file. I'll drag here and put it in my dbfs. Now a March file has been uploaded. Let me go to Databricks quickly. Now we have 8 rows. Now let us see how many rows you get, because it is continuously streaming. You can see it is streaming continuously. Let us wait for a few seconds. It will stream. Yeah, you can see, guys, I have not done anything. You can see the data is incrementing continuously. Now we got a PTM also, 13 rows are there. And if you just scroll down, and you can see this is also updated last 10 seconds ago, and you can see the graph here. You got some data, so that's why it is processed. Let me go to my dbfs and go to file store, tables, and your stream data directory output. You will get a 3 files here. Beautiful. You can see 3 files. Now you might think like whether that 3 files contain the same data or not. You can come to your like end-to-end stream notebook and you can verify it. So let me verify by using this. So I am verifying your output stream. Okay, so let me do that. Create a new data frame called data frame new is equal to spark dot read dot, the format is Parquet, we know that, and I'll specify the location, that is your files store table stream data output, and let me paste it here, and let me display it immediately. Take an action to display this. Oh, incompatible format detected. So there are some delta logs also. Just a minute. Delta logs inside this. We have specified a Parquet format, but it is taking as a delta. Let me just a minute, guys. Okay, if I take this single file and first read it to verify it. So let me do this first and see like what happened to this. Let me run this. No, it is still showing me the delta format. How about read dot format? Yeah, I guess you can read by using a delta. Yeah, you can see that. So actually this is a delta format, but I have specified here Parquet. I need to check why we are getting a delta logs here, delta format here. Okay, no worries. We have used a format called delta. Now I can see that this is all my data which was streamed. Now, suppose if I add one more file in that directory, you will automatically read the data and your data will be written back to that path, whatever path you have specified. You can verify that later on. I hope you enjoyed this session, guys, like an end-to-end streaming data. We will do the same thing while using an Azure Data Lake storage and building a end-to-end pipeline using Azure Data Lake storage as well as Azure Databricks. I hope you enjoyed this content. So if you like it, please share it with your friends, like the video, subscribe to my channel. Keep learning, guys. Thank you.